In 1979, a horrifying event took place in the American city of San Diego. On January 29, Brenda Spencer from the bedroom window of her house opened fire with a .22 caliber rifle. The 16-year-old girl shot at schoolchildren. Brenda was born into a dysfunctional family on April 3, 1962. The child was raised by an alcoholic father, Wallace Spencer. The mother left them, leaving the girl to her fate. According to eyewitnesses, the little girl slept with her father on the same mattress, on the floor, surrounded by empty bottles of alcohol. As Brenda herself told after her imprisonment, her father repeatedly raped her and constantly beat her. Unfortunately, the public also did not believe the girl's words. The reason for this was a long silence about the abuse. Spencer told about it only 22 years after her imprisonment. Brenda was a very capable but misunderstood child. Once she even won first place in a contest held by the Society for the Protection of Animals of the United States. The girl showed herself as a very professional photographer, the palm of superiority she received among all the schools of the state. If the girl would be engaged, and the family would not care about her mental state, from her could grow a new Annie Leibovitz. Already during the detention, Brenda was examined. It turned out that the girl had fallen off her bicycle as a child. She suffered a temporal lobe brain injury, and this in turn explains the child's reluctance to learn. She simply could not concentrate on anything, since such injuries affect the verbal memory and attention of a person. Teachers did not sound the alarm in time, considered the child incapable of learning. Over time, the girl became irritable due to the concussion. Brenda Spencer was skipping school, drinking, and using drugs. She started buying them in high school. Then she switched to street dealers. The girl shot birds with an air gun, was arrested for breaking into a dwelling for the purpose of robbery in 1978. While already studying at a boarding school for troubled teens, she was diagnosed with depression. The school staff warned the girl's father that she was suicidal, and the girl did try to kill herself, but she was rescued. And in December of the same year, a probation officer advised that Brenda be placed in a mental institution, but Wallace refused to comply with the specialist's recommendation. Instead, he gave the girl a firearm for the Christmas holidays. It was a rifle. It came with a sniper scope and about 600 rounds of ammunition. The girl later recounted, "I felt that my father wanted me to kill myself. It was a sunny Monday morning. Children outside Grover Cleveland Elementary School were waiting for Principal Burton Ragg to open the gates of the educational facility. There was a cheerful, childlike atmosphere. The kids were anticipating an interesting day full of learning and socializing. But then there was a deafening rumble. No one realized what had happened, and 9-year-old Cam Miller fell down and started screaming loudly. Conversations and laughter fell silent. Children circled around the boy to see what had happened. Just then another gunshot rang out and a girl in the crowd fell to the ground screaming. The kids were very frightened, started crying, tried to hide. A commotion arose. The school principal and teacher, Daryl Barnes, came running to help the children. Brenda Spencer hurt 8 kids in total. Started with Cam Miller because he was wearing a blue sweater, which is the girl's favorite color. Shot the elementary school principal and custodian Mike Suchar, who were trying to pull the kids to safety. Wounded Robert Ross, a 28-year-old police officer. The wound was to the neck, but he survived. Brenda fired 36 bullets that day. Afterwards, she hid in her apartment and stayed there for about 4 hours. According to eyewitnesses, she was having a dialogue with a reporter of a local newspaper on the phone. The phrase the girl said to the reporter would change her life forever. When asked, "Why did you do it?" Brenda said, "I hate Mondays, and this brightened my day. It's a saying she'll be reminded of at every parole hearing in the end." The girl surrendered to the police after they promised to buy her a burger from Burger King. The police found a huge number of empty whiskey and beer bottles in the apartment, but the court stated that the girl was sober. The forensics also confirmed this fact. Brenda would later claim that she was under the influence of drugs and alcohol at the time of the incident, and the examination was fake to put her away for good. Although Brenda was 16 years old, she was sentenced as an adult because of the severity of the atrocity. She confessed to 2 murders. The day after her 18th birthday, the girl was sentenced to life in prison without parole for 25 years. At the correctional facility, Spencer was fully evaluated for the first time in her life. She was diagnosed with epilepsy. This is a consequence of a temporal lobe brain injury she suffered as a child. If the father had given the girl in time for treatment in a psychiatric department, the victims could have been avoided, but only in prison. Already after the crime, Brenda received the necessary treatment. At one of her parole hearings, the girl stated, "I was hoping the police would shoot me. That's how I wanted to leave my life." While incarcerated, Brenda carved the words "unforgiven" and "lonely" on her forearm. The woman tried 4 times to get out on parole, but it did not happen. As early as 2021, she refused a hearing on her own, and in 2022, Brenda again rejected the possibility of release, while stipulating the term of another petition in 3 years. Spencer agreed with the parole board that she was incapable of living on the outside. Oddly enough, the only person who visits the woman is her father. Every Saturday, the man comes to the California Correctional Institution for Women. The drive from San Diego to his daughter's place of incarceration takes 5 hours.